各位好，这里是新疆电视台新闻演播室，欢迎收看正在直播的新疆新闻联播。
昨天，来自喀什和田的1000名城乡富裕劳动力到新疆中泰集团有限责任公司上岗就业，这是我区实施喀什和田两地3年10万人就业计划转移的首批富裕劳动力。
Since 2017, China detained and imprisoned more than 1 million people in its sprawling network of internment camps in the Uyghur region. China also placed millions of Uyghur and Kazakh and other Turk and Muslim people, citizens, in what the state calls surplus labor and labor transfer program in the name of poverty elevation. This is state-sponsored labor program. They cannot refuse, they cannot walk away.
Zhongtai Chemical Group is a state-owned company in the Uyghur region of China, and they are the largest manufacturer of PVC in the world. PVC is polyvinyl chloride. It is basically a plastic, so we'll most often think of PVC as PVC piping that goes into plumbing, but it's also used to make plastic containers, it's used to make credit cards, and it's also used to make luxury vinyl flooring.
Vinyl flooring is a great option for just about every interior living space in your home.
And that's one of the things we've been paying a lot of attention to because you see this luxury vinyl flooring everywhere.
This is luxury vinyl tile. Some of these look a lot like wood. They're not wood. They're actually just plastic. It's very common. I think it's kind of the hot new flooring item if you turn on HGTV and watch any of the home renovation shows. You can find it at really any of your big box stores, Home Depot. I personally have it in my own kitchen. I've installed some LVT a couple of years ago, not knowing, kind of the backstory.
Zhongtai ships its PVC resins to companies all over the world. And we've been able to trace the PVC going in particular to Vietnam and to India, where the PVC is then made into vinyl flooring. And the vinyl flooring we've been able to trace to companies, some of the major flooring companies around the world.
This particular kind of plastic that we're talking about, PVC, it has a really long and complex production process. Not only is it really intensive, carbon intensive, you need to have some sort of carbon fuel stock and chlorine to make polyvinyl chloride. And you need to also use a number of toxic chemicals, whether they be mercury, asbestos, or this class of chemicals called PFAS. We are very concerned about the health risks to workers.
Zhongtai employees, the majority of whom are of the Han majority ethnic group in China, go door to door, day after day, recruiting people to be transferred for labor. People don't actually want to leave their homes, their families, their farms. They have responsibilities, they have culture and life. People are actually put into buses and on trains by the hundreds and shipped almost like cargo to training centers where they are trained to do jobs for the industries that have grown up in the Uyghur region.
They usually first of all makes them to wear military clothes for discipline, and then they will give them patriotic education. They will teach them to sing a communist song, praise Xi Jinping, praise party, and show their gratitude for how Chinese government has helped them to lift it from the poverty.
当时我听到乡政府捐业就业的消息后，我非常的高兴。在这里，我感谢习近平总书记，感谢地区党委和中泰集团。
This kind of propaganda, video propaganda news, it's almost everywhere because Xinjiang government like to brag about their surplus labor, state-sponsored labor program. Look how they're happy in our factories. Now since China realized how Western world start to take serious about this forced labor program, so a lot of companies, they start to taking down their video, taking down their article, but still there's a lot.
What we have found from first-person testimonies and from other stories that we've seen in the media, in Chinese media, is that the people who are being sent to these labor transfers are promised a lot of money. But oftentimes their pay is deducted for housing and eating and things like that. Some people have said that in fact they end up owing the company that they worked for because they needed to pay for things that are just basic necessities. We've seen stories where companies have employed people and believed that the state was paying the people and had no idea where or whether people were being paid. We've seen stories in state media, Chinese state media, in which they tell us how much money people got paid. And then when you do the math, you realize it is far under the state minimum wage and not enough for people to live on.
Forced labor is just one part of this entire oppression system. It's just one part of that. And it's accompanied with intergeneration separation, compulsory land expropriation. People deprived from their own job, their dignity, their home, their family. I'm from that region. In their eyes, we're not look like them. We're different, so we're the enemy.